Yo, what is going on? As promised, got my man, handle biz, have fun himself, Stevie
Right.
Johnson in the building. Hey, Stevie, say what up to the people, my man.
Man, what it do, JT? First off, you know what I'm saying? Props to you. What up to Cold Front? And shout out to the Mafia out there and everybody that's tuned in.
Yeah, and right after the intro, we'll be right back, and we get to some questions. We get to some. We gonna talk about some stuff
Yeah.
tonight, man.
Mhm.
We're gonna get into it.
So, let's go.
Stevie Johnson, first player in Buffalo team history, 3 straight seasons of 1,000 yards or more receiving.
He's the one guy that scored a touchdown against Revis in all of last season.
Stevie Johnson. He's got the basketball background, and that was just a great move to the hoop.
Patrick has time throws, end zone, touchdown. Stevie Johnson from 9 yards out. And Buffalo giving itself some breathing room.
This season, C.J. Spiller split wide to the left once again. Fitzpatrick with a nice pass right on target for Stevie Johnson, who broke a tackle.
Stevie Johnson coming up with enough yardage on 3 occasions. 3rd down and 20. Here comes the pressure on Fitzpatrick. Drills it. And another great catch by Stevie Johnson. A one-handed grab.
Fitzpatrick over the middle, picked off. Intercepted by Szymanowski, and the ball comes loose. It appears Stevie Johnson made the recovery.
That was a huge play by Stevie Johnson.
Fitzpatrick will take a shot at it and succeeds. It is caught inside the 10 by Johnson, and he's in for the touchdown.
Andrew, because he smashed us in my junior year at Kentucky.
Hey, as promised, my man in the building, Stevie Johnson, as we like to call him now, Coach Styles, man.
And Coach Styles, man. I'm trying to gift the next generation.
Hey, we got. Before we get into any of this Bills talk, man, we got to talk about the Exposure Academy that you're running. We got to talk about going back to your alma mater, coaching kids up, having a solid season, fresh start, man. We got to get into all that. We got to catch up to see where you at, man. So
Yeah.
what you been up to, man?
Man, so yeah, we wrapped up our high school season, first year. We gave the kids opportunity. At the end of the day, we went from not having a season, not knowing if we was going to be able to showcase any of our kids' talent, to having kids getting offers to different colleges and getting that free education.
Yeah. So I mean, how did that come about going back to the alma mater and helping out, and like what did it do to you, just the feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's something special, being able to do that and being in position to do that, given my history being I was the first player to go to the NFL from that school. At the time when it happened, me and the club HBHF crew, we was all out in Denver, with the Bills backers out there handling business and having fun. And we got a call. So they hit me up like, yo, you want to come coach? We got a coaching vacancy. And, it happened earlier than I thought. And, we was shorthanded, but it was fun. It was an experience that I love forever,
I mean, being that name on the walls, because I think it's always a big thing for kids when, I remember going to high school and you see the plaques, you see the banners, you see the records, the name, but then when you actually have that person that put their hands on you and mold you into a player, but not only just a player, as a person, because I think being a coach is more about being personable with these kids and molding them as good human beings and good young men, good young women. How do you think that helped these kids out, having they living legend pretty much come back and help them out?
Tremendously, because I say tremendously because if I take it to myself, I would never be who I was if it wasn't for guys like Desmond Bishop and Quinton Ganther coming back to the high schools and showing that we actually examples that you can go to another college, make a big name of yourself outside of this the city that you in, and have aspirations to go to the NFL. So for me to come back, I don't know exactly how it make them feel inside, but I just feel like at the end of the day, it's got to be something special, and they'll remember this forever.
So a couple years ago, right? We was in me and you. We were in Buffalo for the home opener, And
Oh yeah, it's live.
yeah, it was live. It was live. We gotta
live.
do it again. Gotta do it again. So you were training a kid named Anthony Homa from Grand Island.
Okay.
Now, Anthony, I mean, if you watch videos, I mean, this kid runs his routes identical to what you ran. And he comes out to Angelo Rodriguez, and I seen one game was it 17 catches, man.
17 catches. The boy goes to work. He goes to work. So I went out there. He actually hit me up on a DM. Hey Stevie, just randomly. Would you like to work out or something? This and that. I don't know who this kid is at all, but he sent me a long message, and it sounded like he mentally there already. He ain't show me no dope pictures, you know what I'm saying? No sparkle shots. He said, look, I want to get some work in. You was my favorite growing up, et cetera, et cetera. And hey, I had business out in Buffalo, and so I hit him back. We got some work in for we was out there 12 o'clock, 12 to 1. We was over there out doing just work, straight labbing. And it was cool, man. And he ended up transferring out to California, all the way from Buffalo to California, and look, became the #1 receiver in catches out there, man. From Grand Island, New York.
Man, I'll tell you what, I seen the headline because I don't mind you. I was following. I became an Angelo Rodriguez. I became a Mustang fan this year. No lie. Yeah. So I was following, and I seen 17 catches. 17 catches.
17
this kid
catches.
Killing it.
100 and about 80 some yards. He had 2 touchdowns that game.
Yeah, it was like 2 touchdowns, like 160, 170, something like that, man. But I was just like, yo.
Yeah, and the thing is, it ain't like we was just super dominating. It's like it's competition out here. It's tough competition. So there's other guys that was balling out too, but you got that will to win. He got heart. He put extra work in. It's a lot of kids out there like that, but then there's a lot of kids that's not like that. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised. So shout out to Anthony Homa and what he's doing. He'll be going to Bethel, as a matter of fact, out in Tennessee.
I saw that.
A former Buffalo Bill, Mike Jasper. So.
Okay, the lineman Mike Jasper.
Yeah.
Okay. Pipelines together, but definitely congratulations to Anthony. If you watch this, see this, man. Hats off to you, young brother, man. You went out there, put work in. He's a great example of putting the work in and achieving something and getting back, reaping the benefits of it. And this ain't the last we've seen of Anthony.
Indeed.
So Exposure Academy, man, you got to break this down.
Yeah.
What is it? What you doing? Because I'm watching these videos, and I mean, everybody gonna be running routes like Stevie Johnson in the next 20 years, man. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan, really. That's the plan, to get everybody to create space like myself, because it makes the game easier. It gets them more money and gets them more opportunities to have fun. But the whole thing with the Exposure Academy is something different that I wanted. I didn't grow up going to all these camps. And then when I did get to the camps, it was sort of watered down to me. It was, you do these drills, but none of the drills even connected with the coaches. So with my thing with the Exposure Academy, I'm doing things that made me better. It might be 2 yards of work, but it's going to make you better. It's something unique. And the way I run it is situations, so we have random situations. And so we make things a little bit uncomfortable. But that's the whole plan, to get people comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Something I noticed on my own, and this is something I've been kind of paying attention to the last couple of years. Receiver used to be a position that it was early drafted. You never knew what you was getting back, going back 10, 15 years.
Right.
That's why there's so many guys like yourself that came out not in the first round, not the second round, right, that end up blowing up. Right. It seems now these receivers are coming out more skilled, more talent, and just making an immediate impact on NFL field as a drafted like Justin Jefferson, like some of these guys have come out. Do you think it's because of the explosion of the AAU camps and people like yourself that notice, hey, maybe these camps I went to back and they didn't do nothing for me besides take my parents' money?
Right.
Are these kids benefiting from these AAU camps and these 7-on-7 leagues that's going year round, and that's why the level of play is increasing immediately?
Well, I mean, it just depends on certain ones. Certain ones is out to get the money, and and other ones are out to really teach something. So it just depends really on what your kid skill level is, I guess, and what that coach's standards are. And mine's Mine's just simply I just want to teach them a different way, a way that I had to learn it on my own, you know. And it is not necessarily doing all of the super drills that you normally see. So I just don't want people to, you know, come to the camp and thinking, oh, the kid barely was moving out there. But trust me, a little goes a long way. And I'm an example of it, you know, with people not ever being able to guard me.
Just the small nuances. I mean, that's what it boils down to. And that's what you perfected. Small nuances.
Exactly. I ain't gonna have them, you know what I'm saying, doing nothing crazy. You know, we gonna do stuff that's gonna happen actually in the game, stuff that I failed at, things that I did well at, you know. So it's all just to help them out. I can't teach them something that I never really experienced, you know.
Now, something caught my eye, and it caught a lot of Bills Mafia's eyes earlier in the season. And I don't know how aware people was that Stephon Diggs made this comment, but they briefly talked to Stephon and they said, what was somebody that he watched growing up? And he immediately mentioned you. He said, Stevie was the guy that I watched improve my game. I give him respect. And obviously, there's the connection there now with him being in the Buffalo Bills uniform. You play with the Buffalo Bills. When you hear stuff like that, how powerful is that to you that your influence and your impact was left on the game for a top player like Stephon Diggs today?
Man, it felt super good. It felt super good. To hear that from a guy with the statue that he has, and that he's holding right now, to say that he got, you know what I'm saying, he watched me, but I didn't know. I didn't know he watched. I didn't know anybody really was watching me. So that's really why I'm starting to get out more, to put out more clips and content for people, because, you know, I guess I did do something right. You know what I mean? I got something special, you know. So I'm gonna gift it to everybody, but that's big coming from Diggs, man. Dude, you know what I'm saying? He gonna be the only one with that. He gonna have that record that I got right now. That 3. I feel like he can have more. It's just, you know, it all comes down to, you know, QB situations and health. That's it. Anything else, he's getting it.
I mean, we talking about that. We talking about 3 1,000-yard seasons, right? And
yeah.
I think we got the quarterback position. I think we got that figured out, man.
Right. You got to think. You got to think. Like me and Fitz did that. We weren't even thinking about that. You know what I mean? We didn't know what if it was 3. Well, imagine if we did know, like Diggs know right now with Josh Allen. Man, come on, now. We trying to go for 6, 7 of them things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we got the coach that's going to allow us to do it. You know what I'm saying? Is electric. The 3 is nothing. 3 is nothing.
Well, you know, and the thing, I think we had this conversation. I think when we were in Miami and we were sitting there talking that morning, and you talking about the connection that you and Fitz have. And it, to me, like, it seemed like Allen and Diggs, they came into this season, I mean, obviously with little practice time, because obviously there was not a lot of camp and things such that you normally have in a regular season because of the pandemic. And they was like this from immediately. Locked in.
Yep. And look, it's and the thing is, you got the great combination of a quarterback that gives opportunities. You know, he's athletic enough to be a playmaker and give opportunities to guys. And then you come with a guy, Stephon Diggs, you're self-explanatory. Look at what he did in Minnesota every year. You know, he can win against anybody. How could you say that this combination won't win? It's the reason why they was number 1 or 2 in the NFL. You know?
Yeah.
They both play well off each other.
You know, and we talk about that mentality and having that dog in you. And I was watching the Keep to Lead with the Catching the Fades podcast. They had Marcus Peters on there, and Peters is like, "Yo, the other day he's like, who's one guy in NFL that talk a lot of trash?" And he was like, "Yo, honestly, believe it or not, Josh Allen."
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. And Peters was like, "Yo, boy, I love it." He said, "Yo, he don't even get disrespectful with it. He just talk it and he back it up." He said, "But you gotta respect it, man.
Gotta respect it though, exactly. Because I mean, look at how he moving. You know what I'm saying? Look how he move, how he throw the ball, his body work. You know what I mean? Look at that right there. The balance, the power. Look at the ease though. At the same time, it's all a combination. That's off the fingertips though. You feel me? He got that accuracy off the fingertip and the snap. That thing gone. Come on. Yeah. It's beautiful right now for Buffalo. I love it.
If you I mean, this is going back to obviously the time you played. If you could compare him just not play-wise, because I think it's very hard to compare her play-wise, but just talent-wise, arm talent, athleticism, is there a quarterback that comes to mind that you think of like, yo, this dude's built like this?
Right now, I would just say like Mahomes.
Okay.
Can I say that, or you were?
Yeah, yes, you can. Yeah.
Mahomes. And Mahomes and Allen is like evolutions of Michael Vick, I would say, because when I first got in the game, Michael Vick, who I seen from college and then balling in the NFL, and he was able to get his body and do that and flick it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You seen Vince Young do it in college. You know what I'm saying? He did it in the NFL for a few years with the Titans. But they're all evolutions of those type of guys. You know what I mean? Where they can contort their body in different ways and still be accurate. So they just 3.0 versions, as a matter of fact.
And this is going back, and I want to bring it back to Exposure Academy again, because I was having a conversation with somebody, right? I was having a conversation with one of my boys the other day, and we were talking about how far coaching has come along. And a lot of people may not know this fact, but a lot of times, especially when it came to inner city in the quarterback position, you took your best athlete and you put him at quarterback a lot. And it was just step and repeat, step and repeat, step and repeat. Newport News, Virginia. A lot of people don't realize Michael Vick came after Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was the one who set the tone.
Right.
Then came Mike. Then came Marcus Vick. Then came Tyrod Taylor. And you saw similarities in all the games.
Wow. Yes.
But at the end of the day, now you have, like you said, Exposure Academy, access to different camps to teach you things, or these type of player things that maybe the previous generation didn't have access to.
Exactly. And that's the special part of it, because that all circles back to, like, when I said the Quinton Ganthers and Desmond Bishops coming back and showing me little things that little spark is all that a kid needs to be able to take care of his family and his kids. You feel me? And that's what we're trying to provide here with what our skills, what God gave us, these abilities, and with Club HBHF.
And now speak of Club HBFF, you're coming back to town. You got a camp coming up.
Yep.
Fill us in. What's going on, man?
Hey, yes. Look, so once again, man, shout out to the Bills Mafia and everybody on Twitter. I put out a tweet asking, we just needed a field. I wanted to run a private exclusive camp, and then they hit me back. Amherst High School, Amherst Central hit me back. So shout out Jeff Wheaton, AD there, and he said, "Look, you can use our field, and we can host a camp, entire camp for the whole city. 7 through 13-year-olds." And I was like, "Well, hey, why not? I'm in town. Who knows the next time I'll be there? Let's do it. Let's create for the city." And from there on, we end up getting Healthy Buffalo on board. We got Buffalo Go is on board to partner with the camp. It's beautiful. We got ProBook Sports who also help sponsor the camp. We got Pan Sagan, PSD. They always been family from the beginning. But they go support the camp. So it's good, man. I'm just looking forward to being out there with the kids in the community.
And you got Cold Front. We gonna support the camp, and as always, Steve, my man, $100,000. You know what I mean? So, so we gonna support however we can too. But the details of the camp, is it full yet?
Well, you can still register on hbhf.club, www.hbhf.club, and registration is still on there. Fill it out, get your waivers in, and it's still spots open. We got 4 sessions. So it's still space.
Okay, who we got up here from, man?
Oh yeah, this is Stella. Stella's check it out, Stella.
Stella about big as me, man.
Give her that Mayweather back up.
Yeah, man. But no, back to the Bills. A couple years ago, when we was talking a lot, you was always real high on Cole Beasley. Like, if it was one person that was preaching this Cole Beasley, it was Stevie Johnson.
Exactly, because I see it. I see what we need throughout the entire game. He's an extended handoff. At the end of the day, he can create space. We seen him do it all day in Dallas with his guys out there. Like, he can create space. We open it up with him early. Everything else becomes easier for everyone on the outside, man. So I love his game.
What is it that makes him so hard to guard inside? Well, what makes a very good inside receiver?
He understands coverages. I don't know. I'm just speaking on my, you know what I'm saying, what made me good, and I'm assuming because he do this almost the same thing. He understands coverages. That's what helped me understand how much space I'm gonna get and what another guy's going to be doing. So, you know, that's it. Learn your coverages, young receivers.
Yeah, I mean, that mental aspect, is that why you think a lot of receivers that have immense talent don't surpass what they don't never reach their full potential because they can't get the mental aspect down?
Man, great questions. And this is good for a lot of these young receivers to hear. Yes, like that stops you, and you can mix it with pride. You can come in, and sometimes it can be a facade with your. Let's say you got all that raw talent, and you get drafted high. A coach may tell you all you need to worry about is X position. You go be the man. So all you thinking about is learning the X position. While me, on the other hand, I'm in the back. I need to learn every position. Who you think got more knowledge and wisdom and experience? You know what I'm saying? The person learning one position or the one that's learning everything. So you got to be tapped in. You got to be tapped in on all angles and not just thinking, yeah, they told me I just only got to learn one position. I'm good enough to only learn one position. Man, wake your game up. Just go be better. Be better.
Keenan Allen.
Man, the alien.
Keenan Allen. Prime example. Stephon Diggs, prime example.
Dude.
John Brown go down last year. Stephon go to he's playing outside. Cole Beasley go down. Steph boots to the inside.
Can do it all because he already understands the moving pieces. When you understand the moving pieces, the game slow down. Whole game slow down.
What are your thoughts on two-part question here? What are your thoughts on Josh Allen as a whole? And how good did it feel? Because me, you, and Donald, we've always talked about beating the Patriots. That's something that we've always spoke about. This team had to beat the Patriots. And last year they did it twice with Belichick still in town. Obviously no Brady, but it doesn't matter about getting over that mental hump of beating them.
What's that?
What do you think about Josh? And then what do you think about just get them this year beating the Patriots twice?
Off top about Josh, I was on board from day one, and I seen it because as soon as I seen him throwing them passes, like, oh, he trying to make play. He giving out opportunities. You know what I'm saying? All we need is to get somebody to be on the opposite side to create that space for him. And he's super settled in, so he's light years ahead of what he was the first 2 years. Even though I knew what it'll eventually come to, you know, all he just needed was pieces around him. And then with the squad being able to beat the Patriots 2 years in a row, that's good for them. Even better for the city, I would say. You know, we wanted to dominate Brady. You know, we wanted to dominate those champs. You know, this one is good though for the city to be, you know, I guess brag. I would say, you know, I don't know if any of those Patriot games counted towards playoffs or not. So, you know, if they did, then that's also great for us. But if it didn't, then that's just brag.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it did. I mean, to me, like I was on the kind of the same boat as you, where I said, you know, if it's no Brady, that this team should beat the Bills should beat them twice in a year. There's no Brady. But I always think, like, you know, sometimes there's a mental block, there's a drawback because there's still Belichick across that sideline. There's still those same blue jerseys. There's still that same emblem, and you just need to get over that hump. Like, all right, cool, that's in our past now.
Yeah, nah, that ain't the mentality at all. Like, we ain't thinking about you know, the jerseys, and because of even if it was the coach over there, coach ain't on the field. You feel me? If you got more dogs on your team, I ain't scared to bend the rules. You know, the coach on the sideline ain't gonna matter. But when you got a coach out there and a guy who can control any situation and counter anything, now this is what we want to see. This is where the game is played.
Yeah, New England made a mistake, man.
Did they? What? Why would you do that? Why would
they let some egos get in the way, and they made a mistake. The same mistake that the Packers trying to avoid.
Yeah, and it's all good though. I like it because it got Cam there.
Yeah.
And it's going to eventually let Cam know, okay, I'm gonna just go back to Carolina and then link up with Keenan Allen when he wanted to say, forget it, I'm gonna go play at home, and then Stephon Gilmore, I want to go play back in Carolina. Come on. That's what I'm getting to.
You got this theory too, though, man. You got this. Hey, I'm with you. It make a whole lot of sense. Cam, Stephon, and Keenan all back to Carolina.
in Carolina, bro. Because it's just why not? Why not? Because me as a retired player now, I'm so disheartened. I'm heartbroken when I had to leave Buffalo. But that whole opportunity still allowed me to play in my hometown, and that wasn't even on my terms. Now think about LeBron, what he did. He chose to go back to Cleveland, but that's not what I'm talking about. Bron chose to link up with Bosh and D Wade in the NBA. You seen how that shift went. Now let's say we got players like Keenan, who's already proven, already had his contract. Gilly already proven contract. Same with Cam. We go shift the momentum to the players now. Hey, go ahead from the NFL perspective now. Yeah, hey, we go get out this contract or whatever, and we going to Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We going back there.
Hey,
Okay.
as long as it's away from the AFC East, man, I'm cool with it, man. I'm cool with it. Go ahead and do it.
There'll be a way, and then who knows? You know what I'm saying? A year after, 2 years after, they go somewhere else. But we did it. We trailblazed.
Speaking of NBA, man, I know you're a hooper and you're an NBA head just like I am. I'm not a hooper, NBA head, man. What you think about Kendrick Perkins' comment saying that it's harder to win a championship in the NBA than it is the NFL?
Man, I would say maybe because I don't want to just go attack and go against them. I would say maybe because when you play in the NBA, you got 7 games with this team. So after that one game, you can get back to another. You know what I mean? In the NFL, anything can happen on that one play. I mean, not one play, but that in that one game. So that's what I'm just getting to keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Both of them is hard.
I mean, I think it's harder to win in any. I think it's harder to win in any sport. I think that your Jordans, your LeBrons, your Kobe's are rare in NBA. But I think that it's always going to be harder in NFL. And the reason I say this is because you have less freedom to move around in NFL than you do in the NBA. Like the players have a lot more power in the NBA than the NFL does. So, you don't really control your own destiny. Like you just said, you went back at home and played in San Francisco, but it wasn't your own choice.
Right.
With NBA, you like, man, listen, I'm going to get traded, but you can only trade me here, or I ain't playing.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that for sure. And I'm with you on that. I just feel like what he was thinking maybe was coming down to strategy. Because both of them is hard. I can't knock hoop. That's a lot of running, etc. You still got to guard them. You got to guard a 7-foot dude that can pull up, or a 7-foot, 389 pound. Come on, that's tough for 4 straight games. Sheesh. But they both hard. But yeah, I'm of course with you, and I'm with the NFL fraternity off top.
Yeah.
And you just got the solidified reasoning why.
Right. I that's all. I mean, like I said, I don't think playing any professional sport, anything is easy to win a championship in. I don't care even if it's not professional, it's not easy. College, high school, whatever. You got to put that work in. And you got to be perfect all the time, or you could be out, you could lose.
Indeed. And then that's like something that don't even matter. Like, why, who cares about that? Let's talk about this one 5th rounder that's pretty good. Let's put some put some air time on that dude instead of creating, the NFL is harder than the, you know what I'm saying? That's just a block.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, but hey, man, any parting words that you want to have tonight before we get up off this thing?
Yeah, man. So just shout out to the whole city. We put together this camp real like late, and we still got a lot of love, man. People been tapping into the sites and tapping into social media, which is great. Also want to give shout out to Club HBHF out in Dallas, out in Arizona, and out in Northern California. We gonna have camps coming up there. So stay on the lookout for that.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Coach Stevie, as we call him now, Coach Styles. I thank you for taking the time to come on with me. Like I said, man, you my man, and I can't wait. We gonna do some more work together, man.
Yeah. We still shot that that off camera vid with the helping the kids out OTL.
I still got it. I'm gonna release that this week. I was just talking about that to my man EJ before the show, and how to run your patent slant.
Yeah,
I still got it. It's done. I'm gonna release that. What day is it? Friday. I'm gonna release that Sunday morning.
Yeah, give them a little taste of it because we got more in the future. We're working on my route tree vid. That we'll get so people can know exactly how I would run my route tree. from 1 through 9. You know what I'm saying? And I think that just be real helpful for people.
Yeah, most definitely. But hey, man, everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. Let's say just a little special edition on man Stevie. Help me promote the camp, get him out, connect with him again. Make sure you guys are following him at Handle Bears Have Fun, HBHF Club. And yeah, we're gonna catch y'all next time, man.
Thanks, man. Shout out to the CFR, man.
That's it.
Stevie Johnson, first player in Buffalo team history, 3 straight seasons of 1,000 yards or more receiving.
He's the one guy that scored a touchdown against Rivas in all of last season. Stevie Johnson. He's got the basketball background, and that was just a great move to the hoop. Back to pass, time throws, end zone.